Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 418, The Vanishing Necklace. Intermediate. It was a crisp autumn morning in the town of Mayburn. The golden leaves crunched underfoot, and the smell of damp earth filled the air. Sarah Harper, a young journalist, sat at her desk in the Mayburn Gazette's modest office. She stared at her blank notebook, hoping for a story to unfold. Her phone buzzed. "Harper," she answered briskly. "Miss Harper, it's Inspector Ford from the local police station. We've got a bit of a situation at Whitmore Manor. You might want to check it out." Whitmore Manor was the grandest estate in Mayburn. Its owner, Lady Eleanor Whitmore, was known for her extravagant jewellery collection. Sarah grabbed her coat and notebook, her heart racing. Was this the story she had been waiting for? When she arrived at the manor, the scene was chaotic. Police officers cordoned off the main hall, while a crowd of onlookers whispered in hushed tones. Lady Eleanor stood at the centre of it all, her pearl necklace gleaming against her black dress. "It's missing!" Lady Eleanor exclaimed, her voice trembling. "The sapphire choker! My most precious piece!" Inspector Ford approached Sarah, his expression grim. "This is no ordinary theft," he said. "The sapphire choker was locked in a display case. No signs of forced entry." Sarah glanced at the case. It was indeed intact. The glass was spotless, and the lock appeared untouched. "Could it be an inside job?" she asked. "That's what we're trying to figure out," Ford replied. "There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the theft: Lady Eleanor, her maid Anna, and her butler, Mr. Graham." Sarah's reporter instincts kicked in. She decided to interview the suspects. First was Anna, a timid young woman with trembling hands. "I was dusting the room," Anna said, avoiding eye contact. "I didn't touch the case, I swear." Next was Mr. Graham, a tall man with a stern face. His deep voice echoed in the grand hall. "I served Lady Eleanor for 25 years. I would never betray her trust." Lady Eleanor herself was visibly shaken but composed. "That necklace has been in my family for generations. If someone has stolen it, they must pay." Sarah noticed something peculiar, a faint smudge on the inside of the glass case. "Inspector, has anyone dusted the glass for fingerprints?" she asked. Ford nodded. "Our forensic team is on it." While waiting for the results, Sarah explored the manor. She found herself in the library, where a faint smell of cigar smoke lingered. On the desk lay a crumpled note. It read, "Midnight, the docks." Sarah's pulse quickened. Could this be a clue? She hurried back to Ford and showed him the note. "This changes everything," Ford said. "We'll stake out the docks tonight." As the clock struck midnight, Sarah and Ford hid behind a stack of crates at the docks. The fog was thick, muffling their breath. A shadowy figure emerged, carrying a small bag. "Stop right there!" Ford shouted, stepping into the open. The figure froze, then tried to run, but Ford was faster. He tackled the person to the ground. Sarah shined her flashlight on the culprit. "Mr. Graham!" she gasped. The butler's stern face twisted in defeat. "I needed the money," he admitted. "My son's medical bills. I had no choice." In the bag was the sapphire choker, glimmering under the flashlight's beam. The theft was solved, but Sarah felt a pang of sadness. Mr. Graham's motive was not greed, but desperation. The next morning, Sarah sat at her desk, typing furiously. The headline read, "The Case of the Sapphire Choker, a Tale of Desperation and Betrayal." It was a story that would captivate Mayburn, but to Sarah, it was a reminder that every story had 2 sides. Vocabulary notes. Modest, meaning simple and not overly grand or extravagant. Example, Sarah Harper, A young journalist sat at her desk in the Mayburn Gazette's modest office. Similar words: humble, unassuming, simple, plain, ordinary. Extravagant, meaning excessive or lacking restraint, especially in spending money or resources. Example: Lady Eleanor Whitmore was known for her extravagant jewellery collection. Similar words: luxurious, lavish, opulent, excessive. Cordoned off, meaning to block off an area to prevent people from entering. Example: police officers cordoned off the main hall while a crowd of onlookers whispered. Similar words: blocked, sectioned, isolated, restricted. Trembling, meaning shaking slightly, often from fear, excitement, or cold. Example: Lady Eleanor exclaimed, her voice trembling. Similar words: shaking, quivering, shuddering. Instincts, meaning natural or intuitive way of acting or thinking. Example: Sarah's reporter instincts kicked in. Similar words: intuition, gut feeling, reflex. Peculiar, meaning strange or unusual. Example: Sarah noticed something peculiar, a faint smudge on the inside of the glass case. Similar words: unusual, odd, strange, distinctive. Crates, meaning large wooden boxes used for storing or transporting goods. Example: Sarah and Ford hid behind a stack of crates at the docks. Similar words: boxes, containers, cases. Stakeout, meaning to watch or observe a place secretly, often for investigative purposes. Example: we'll stake out the docks tonight. Similar words: monitor, observe, surveil, watch. Defeat, meaning the feeling of having lost or been beaten. Example: the butler's stern face twisted in defeat. Similar words: loss, failure, surrender. Captivate, meaning to hold the interest or attention of someone completely. Example: it was a story that would captivate Mayburn. Similar words: fascinate, mesmerize, enthrall, charm. Story written by ChatGPT 4.0 AI. Image created by Designer AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.